Jed, write him a blank check. You need to show that you will do whatever it takes to win a Super Bowl because your uncle just made you look bad. If you didn't see this, this has been kind of going viral online. There is this show, I haven't seen it yet. The Rise of the 49ers. It's on Netflix or something, or Amazon Prime, or one of these. I don't even know. But they had like a red carpet debut type of thing last night. And I wasn't there. Should have been. God. But Eddie DeBartolo was there. Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, and Matt Mayoko, OG Niners reporter, who covered some of that era, the tail end, was asking Eddie DeBartolo questions in a group. And the question was kind of like with a laugh, like, hey, like, how frustrating would it be? How frustrating would it be if you ever went 31 years without winning a Super Bowl? Like, what a quaint idea. Where does the time go? And Eddie, without missing a beat, without cracking a smile, just said, I wouldn't. And I love that. Not like, I don't think I would. I wouldn't. And not like it's my opinion. It's like, it's a fact. And it was. He took over the team in 1977. They won in 1981. So it's his 5th season. They win. Then they win 4 years later. Then they win. No, excuse me. Then they win 3 years later. Then they win 4 years later. Then they win the next year. Then they win 5 years later. Then they take the team away from him 6 years later. And my main takeaway isn't that, if he was owning the team, they would have been winning a Super Bowl every 5 years. It just shows you his mindset. If you're not winning the Super Bowl every 5 years, someone has to get fired. It's a failure. That was his mindset. That's why people like me and people who are slightly older are the way that we are. Because Eddie D is nuts. And I love it. You don't understand what it's like to have an owner who's freaking insane and will do whatever it takes to win a championship with that one team, man. He's not looking at his portfolio. He's not looking at his English soccer teams. Like, he's nuts, dude. Nuts. And I love it. Do whatever it takes. He wouldn't pat himself on the back for getting close. He would fired Kyle years ago. And I think it's interesting, like, look at how the Yorks have presented their work the last 31 years. Like, hey, we're one of the more stable franchises and, players like us. And we've had some consistent success depending on how you define success. And we have this coach that everyone would want. And, no, we haven't gotten over the hump yet, but there's this thing called the salary cap. And there's a lot of luck involved, blah, 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 blah. It's if you give yourself those outs and excuses, how do you really expect to win the Super Bowl? Maybe you get lucky one time and things break your way, or maybe not. I just feel like what he's trying to say was that, like, if you really want to be a dynasty, have sustained success, and success means winning a Super Bowl. That's the only thing it means. Then it doesn't happen by accident. You have to be really special and be willing to hold yourself to a standard that no one else does. And the Niners aren't that. They aspire to be the Dallas Cowboys or the Green Bay Packers. They don't. The Buffalo Bills have a higher standard than the 49ers. The Seattle Seahawks have a higher standard than the 49ers. The Baltimore Ravens have a higher standard than the 49ers. Pittsburgh Steelers have a higher standard than the 49ers. At least the Yorks. When Eddie DeBartolo was owner, no one had higher standard than the 49ers. No one. Wouldn't happen, he said. But the Yorks, I mean, they'll just give you a whole diatribe about, like, actually, only reason they were good is because there wasn't a salary cap and they could do whatever. There's not really a salary cap anymore. You could figure it out. The Eagles do. They just put the void years on at the end and they spend and spend and spend and spend and spend and spend and spend, and they count on the salary cap to go up down the line. And they work it out when they have to. They don't take on $100 million dead cap and say, sorry, we can't do anything, even though we have $45 million in salary cap. You think Eddie would have had a year like last year where they were like, legitimately in the mix with salary cap space, and you just sit in your hands and say, what was that dude's name? White? Who was that D lineman? I don't even remember his freaking name. 56? Yeah, he's enough. Keon White, that's his name. Let's just get Keon White. Forget Rashid Shaheed. Let's let the Seahawks get Rashid Shaheed. Let's let them be the really aggressive, forward-thinking, spare no expense organization, not us. And I love that just by saying I wouldn't, he puts the pressure on Jed. What are you going to do, Jed? You're entering year 10 with your coach and you got nothing to show for it. Are you really going to let Kyle Shanahan become the longest tenured coach in my franchise's history? Nephew Jed, are you really going to do that? Because I got rid of Bill after 10 years and 3 championships. And I got rid of Seifert after 8 years and 2 championships. And you're just going to sit here and cling to Kyle forever? I wouldn't. Are you better than me? Do you know how to do it better than I don't think so. And he hasn't said anything in like 10 years, dude, on the record. Last time I heard Eddie, he was trying to save Jed during the Chip Kelly year. I interviewed him on the record that year. He was great. And he was like, you know what? I really believe in Jed. And you got to give Chips a chance. And I think they got something going there. Like, God love him. What a great uncle. Then they get Kyle Shanahan. It looks like Jed's figured it out. And Eddie just is quiet, probably rooting for him. He's an Italian. They're so family oriented. I'm sure he's rooting for Jed. But Jed's only half Italian. I don't know if he got the good half. I'm sorry. Only the good half. God love you, Eddie D. Dimitrov says Omar Cooper Jr. no matter what. I'm not even going to pretend like I know who that is, but I'll get to know soon. Boxing Fan Times 4 says, what's up with Bullocks? He's not on the team site. Did he join Sala, or does that mean Schwartz is coming in with his own secondary coaches? He's not on the team site anymore? What are you talking about? He's not? Wow. You know, I want to say something. I know Daniel Bullocks. I like Daniel Bullocks. He's a hell of a coach. And I feel like he could have been someone the Niners groomed to be a defensive coordinator. And I don't understand why they didn't. He's been here the whole time. Players love him. You went with Nick Sorensen ahead of Daniel Bullocks. They're clearly never going to promote Daniel Bullocks. So go to Tennessee, man. Robert Saleh will do a much better job accelerating your career than Kyle Shanahan will. That's very interesting. And if Saleh gets Daniel Bullocks, that's a big-time hire for the Tennessee Titans and a big-time loss for the 49ers. Dimitrov says, so now you want to stick to the wide 9 again? What happened to McDonald's hybrid 3-4? I'm saying if Kyle's going to stick with the wide 9, then Jim Schwartz is the best guy. And Jim Schwartz is good no matter what. Like, I would want Jim Schwartz. I would rather have Mike McDonald, but you're not getting Mike McDonald. Jim Schwartz is experienced. He's a hell of a coach. He makes it work. Gizmo Maltese says, what do you think? Trade Mac for a second, draft a center or a guard, get Zach Wilson or Justin Fields and rehabilitate them as backups. Man, Justin Fields would suck on this team, just like he sucks everywhere. Sorry. And Zach Wilson probably would suck on this team too. He already went to the Dolphins. It was awful there. It's the same system. Trade Mac Jones at your own peril, man. You see that Sam Darnold's about to win the Super Bowl, right? You're that comfortable with trading the next backup away?